All right. Good morning. First of all, welcome to Friday. Not that it's going to feel any different from a Monday, a Tuesday, a Wednesday, a Thursday, but we aren't meeting tomorrow, so that's exciting. So, welcome to your Friday. Haley, thank you so much for your email this morning about quizzes. I really appreciate it. I just reopened them because I had them open and close a minute apart. So shame on all of you for not finishing in a minute at 12:01 this morning. So, oops. So with that being said, I have reopened your quizzes until 11:59 tonight, like they're supposed to. I don't know what really happened there. So Haley, thank you so much for your email, but I did take care of it for you this morning. So thank you, thank you, thank you. The quizzes are open. I don't know what happened there. I've been so good on it. So today your homework for today is to complete your vocab quiz. It's now actually open because it opened and closed within a minute last night. And it's open till, of course, 11:59 tonight. So please make sure you get your quiz done. You should be working in your Barron's book. You could be just like Victoria and sit outside with your Barron's book on your lap, feel the sun, and not look at a computer screen. Doesn't that sound nice? Because I don't know about you, but I'm tired of looking at a computer screen. So please make sure you're working on your Barron's book because it is due Wednesday by 11:59. And I will tell you, it will take you longer than you're expecting. Now, you will get faster as time goes, but it's going to take you a while. How's that going? We're doing okay? Do we hate it? Yeah, I know. But it is a really important skill. I will tell you, I've received like 10,000 ESB messages from former students who are in APUSH and who are in AP Euro who are doing the same thing. They're like, I bought a Barron's book and I'm sitting here doing it just like your kids. So I will tell you, they're doing it for 0 points. And the reason is because it works. It really does. It's a real life skill. So you are more than welcome to hate it. If you'd like to burn your book after, feel free. It doesn't hurt my feelings. But it is worth a lot of points. It is a skill you need to have, and it will help you in so many places later going forward. So please make sure you're working on it because I'm not trying to have you do it all last minute. It's not going to go well for you. So as you're going through it, if you would like to send me a picture of a page to tell you if you're doing too much or too little, you're more than welcome to. And I will say, hey, you're right on it, or whoa, way too much. Please feel free, and I'll be love to give you feedback because I don't want you writing too much, but I also don't want you writing too little and get blown up at the end. Does that make sense? So if you want to just take take a photo of your Barron's book and send it to me, either Instagram or through Edsby, you are more than welcome to do that just to make sure. If we were together, I'd be giving you examples. Sorry, my dog is like staring at me through the door and just looks so pitiful. So if you'd like to send me a picture of it, you're more than welcome to, and I'll tell you if you're doing too much, too little, or you're right on track. Is that okay with you? Perfect. All right. So let's get to the news of the day. In case you weren't living my live posting on Instagram, and remind, because I thought it was really important. If I was suffering with this knowledge, I thought you should be suffering with the knowledge. You're welcome. AP announced last night to teachers that you at home in 45 minutes are going to write a DBQ. You're going to write a DBQ in 45 minutes with 5 documents. Now, let me explain to you why they chose the DBQ. And the more I think about it, the more I think it makes sense. I mean, you obviously heard that I did not think this was a possibility, correct? Do we remember that? You don't need to play the tape back because I remember it because I still stand by it and I can't believe this is happening, but here we are. The reason why they're doing it is because whether we like it or not, the DBQ actually does test how well you've learned the skills of AP World. Can we agree? primary sources, analyzing information, pulling in outside evidence, creating an argument, defending that argument. All of those things are found in a DBQ. It really is the perfect summation of our course. So if you're going to test kids on skills they should have been learning through 3/4 of the year, it does make sense to do the DBQ. Is it rude as hell? Yes. Does it really, really suck? Yes. However, it also, another reason why they did it, is to cheat on a DBQ is almost impossible. Because if you're going to cheat on a DBQ, you pretty much have to have the same sentences. Can we agree? It's literally has to be, you have to essentially copy someone else's DBQ in order to cheat off someone. So with that being said, it's easier for them to catch plagiarism. Now, is that the motivation, is trying to catch people who are cheating? It does make sense. It is the best way to test the skills that you should have been learning all year, which we have been learning all year. Can we agree? That we've been, now that we've completed 3 DBQs in class, we do know what a DBQ is made up of. And we've talked about this numerous times of how it's a good summation and how we've been putting pieces together throughout the entire year. But so if I had to guess the motivation, those would be the 2 big reasons. 1, it allows you to really show off the skills that you should have been learning all year. 2, it really cuts down on cheating, because in order to cheat, you really have to essentially copy and paste from one another, which is obviously, not ideal and pretty easy to track. So if I had to guess, that would be it. With that being said, that would be the reasons why they chose it, which do make logical sense to me. I'm obviously not thrilled. I think you could hear the panic in my Instagram posts. I know that we are ready. There are some people who never taught the DBQ. Hello, we're in April. It's 25% of the exam in a normal year. Some people haven't taught a DBQ. We've at least taught a DBQ. So with that being said, we are okay. We are okay. We are okay. Now, is this ideal? Is this what I want? Absolutely not. This sucks. This is way more stress than I need. And your girl's 9 months pregnant. I don't need this type of stress. Your girl's 9 months pregnant in a pandemic. Do you know what's not ideal? Being pregnant in a pandemic. It's a nightmare. And then last night they put this shit on. Oh, man. What a stressful day. Anyway, moving forward, we are ready. We have been working on the skills. We have a writing week starting Wednesday. Do you remember that? Actually, Thursday. You have a test on Wednesday. On Thursday of next week. So with that being said, we're going to go over a ton of stuff. Obviously, we're only writing DBQs. Doesn't that sound fun? So with that being said, that's what we're going to have to do kind of moving forward. So it's not ideal. It's not what I would have chose. It's not what you would have chose. I was really happy with LEQs, SAQs last week. Do you remember how much fun we were having? I mean, we weren't having fun, but do you remember how much better of a time it was when we thought it was LEQs and SAQs? Yeah, it was a good time. Now it's not, but that's okay. We are ready. We know what to do. We know our formats. Can we agree? Yes? Okay. So, I mean, I can't imagine the documents are going to be long. Now, there are some complications to this, which I don't know if you have really sat there and thought about. So if they do a digital DBQ, guess what you're not going to have in front of you to highlight, to annotate? So you know how we've been practicing the skill of annotating a DBQ, a primary, by writing all over the columns, underlining things, stuff like that? That's going to be a little bit trickier. I know. Hi.
Do we not think that's going to have the option to, like, take a picture of it?
Take a picture of it for what?
Because didn't they say that you'd be able to like submit a picture of your essay?
Yeah, you'll still be able to handwrite it, but you're not going to have the document in front of you that you can sit there and underline and annotate like you do. Like, you know how when you do a time primary in my class?
Oh, you don't have to be able to like print it out. Or
Yeah, you won't be able to print it.
Wait, Miss Bennett.
Yes, my love.
They said it was going to be open notes. They understand that there's no way in hell we would be able to look at our notes and write a DBQ.
Yes, that's why they picked a DBQ.
Great.
That's why they picked a DBQ, girl. They're not idiots. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, AP, College Board, doesn't get paid unless you. They made $500 million last year.
They're probably the Illuminati or something.
Huh?
What if College Board is actually the Illuminati?
Well, I'd hope they would, do something better than ruin the lives of children, right? At least if Beyonce is part of the Illuminati, at least she gets to be Beyonce, right? I'd hate to be Trevor Packer. Ugh, what a terrible life that guy lives. Anyway, so there are complications for sure. They're going to be submitted to you. If you haven't checked Edsby, I did a post last night, early-ish, not super late. It was only like 10 o'clock at this point. I'm pulling it up right now. So yeah, I posted one at like 2:45 this morning. This was at 2:15, and this is at like 10. So that's good. So if you haven't gone through this post, this is kind of like the major highlights from the announcement yesterday. Kind of going through it. So if you haven't taken the time to go through and look at it, it will kind of answer most of your questions. So like Thursday, your test is on Thursday, May 21st, which is a week later than we were expecting. It's going to be 45 minutes long. You're still going to get 1 through 5 on your scores. Colleges apparently have agreed to continue to accept it. It will be open note, but just as Reagan said, there's no time. So like there's just, sure, yeah, you have your notes open, but you're not going to know anything. You won't have time to do anything. That's the problem. Now, you're not allowed to participate in group chats or anything. Apparently, the software that they're trying to come up with, and I don't know if it's just a scare tactic or real life, apparently they'll be able to hack in you'll grant the browser the permission to use your webcam, and that way they can see if you're cheating while taking the exam. That's what people are saying. So when you log into your exam that morning, you will give them permission to log into your webcam to see if you're cheating. Whether that's true or not, that was one of the things that came up yesterday in the conversation.
And then would that be like a computer that would be like regulating whether you talk or whether you like do something shady, or would it be like a person?
I don't know. So apparently they've created this locked browser that apparently when you log in on the day of your exam, it stops it from opening up any other web pages. So in order to look at the test, you're not allowed to have any other thing. Now, with that being said, if you're a wealthy kid, you can just have your iPad sitting next to you. Like you can. So, I mean, there's a bunch of other problems with this whole thing, but they're trying to lock it down as best they can. But this is rumors. They haven't fully cleared out exactly what's happening. So I'm not 100%. I'm just telling you what people are saying. So you guys have a bit, so that you understand the weight of the situation, is that they're really trying to crack down on cheating. Because I don't want you cheating. Because we don't need to cheat. Because we've done the work every single day. Can we agree? So if you're thinking, oh man, I got to figure out how to do this, you're going at it the wrong way. Because we don't need to cheat. We don't need to cheat. We've done the work. We've been working for 30 weeks. We're going to continue to work Okay, so we don't need to cheat. We are ready for this. We've already talked formats. We've already done the content. We're in full review. Like, we are ready to go. We don't need to cheat. I'm just telling you these things so you know, like, okay, so I need to do this on my own. We need to continue to take this seriously. And so that's where I'm coming from. Reagan, what's up? Did you have a question, love? Okay. So they have different ways to detect plagiarizing. Everything will be scanned through to make sure you're not copying someone else's work, which makes basic sense. I think everyone understood that was the expectation. You can take the test on your cell phone. I would not say that's ideal, but keep in mind, a lot of people are not as fortunate as some of you might be with a laptop or an iPad or something like that. So it is capable of being done on your cell phone. I would not do it on your cell phone. If you can avoid that, I definitely would. But we'll get more information on that as it comes. There will be a practice exam. So no one really knows what this is going to look like. Of course, we'll be looking at it as a group, the practice exam, so we can really talk about what the whole experience is going to kind of be like. Keep in mind, they have not released the new format, the new rubric. It's 5 documents instead of 7 documents. And I don't know exactly what they're testing for. Apparently, they're releasing the rubric sometime today. So I should know by sometime today exactly what they're looking for in their actual DBQs going forward. But as of right now, I don't know. So how fun. So all of us AP World teachers around the country are teaching a new rubric in homeschooling. Isn't that fun? Digital education. What a dream. Anyway,
The units is still a 1 through 6. Like,
yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah, that stuff, the fundamental content part has not changed. Content has not changed. And they have continued to say 1900 to present will not be explicitly tested in this one question. However, JP, as we've talked about, you can use it for your synthesis, you can use it as your contextualization, you can use it as your outside evidence, but it won't be explicitly tested. So we're going to continue with our review just the way we've planned it. We have a writing week next week, which means we're really going to grind on the DBQ. I think we all saw that coming as soon as I announced yesterday at 10 o'clock that it's the DBQ. We are going to grind that way, but keep in mind, there's still a lot of things kind of up in the air, especially with how this is going to be done because no one really knows. I will tell you, I think you can tell I'm taking this very seriously, yes. I am trying to figure out as much as I possibly can. I know you guys are working incredibly hard. We're going to continue working incredibly hard. But I will tell you, last night when I heard, I was freaking out. But I will tell you, well, obviously I was up till 3, so my anxiety didn't pass till about 3. But I will tell you when I woke up this morning at like 7:45, which is like luxurious, I felt better about the DBQ. I'm not excited about the DBQ. I'm not enthusiastic about it, but I do feel better than when I tried to go to sleep at like 11. So we will be fine. We will be fine. Yes, darling.
Do you know if there's a day that we might be able to get into school? Like my whole AP World notebook isn't.
Have you called Plant to ask?
Yeah, nobody or like they left me on. Oops, sorry. They left me on the answering machine for like ever. But
If you call them and press 0, it'll take you to a person. I did that yesterday and I was able to get my stuff.
Oh, nice. Perfect. So
Another thing, they're doing the breakfast things in the mornings, and Mr. Wade and Mr. Webb are usually there. So.
yeah, and guys, whether you have food or not at home, if you are capable of it, and I'm not trying to sound, dramatic or anything, but if you are around plant, and especially if you don't have a ton of food or you want to help the community, swing by plant and pick up food, because there's people working at plant who are making a paycheck packing those bags. And so by you picking up food, we keep those schools open, which means more people are making money during this time. Does that make sense? So you know how right now, like, your parents are probably like, hey, let's do takeout tonight and support a local business because all these servers and restaurant staff are being laid off. Well, a lot of Hillsborough County support staff are getting laid off, including our cafeteria workers, our front office workers, our para educators are all getting laid off. But some of them are still working via this lunch program. In places like Plant, we don't have a huge population of low-income families. Like, we really don't in the grand scheme of things. So a lot of people don't need the lunches or the breakfast because their families are affluent or wealthy. So if you can, I would go and pick up a lunch. Apparently, they're pretty damn delicious. I haven't gone to pick it up because I'm not allowed to leave my house. And I'm not a student, so, you know. But apparently they're pretty good. And if you could, you're going to be supporting our local community. You're helping people keep a job, which is turning into a very big deal. I'll tell you right now, today is a very big day for your parents and my family specifically, because of all these turbulent times. This is like real talk here, people, because I know AP exams, that's stressful for us. But in case you haven't seen, the economy has completely stagnated. Yes? Your family is feeling the stress. Your parents are feeling the stress. Well, a lot of companies are furloughing or not paying their employees. Furloughing means you no longer have a job and you're not fired, but you're no longer getting paid. So a lot of companies are furloughing, and today a lot of companies are going to start firing their employees in order to open up some capital to be able to move around. So I will tell you, my husband's company is firing probably about 20% of their employees today. And this is happening throughout all of the accounting field. The reason why I know accounting is because my husband's in accounting and he's got friends in all different companies. My best friend works at a tech company, and today they're firing about 30% of their workforce. That's a lot of people. And in case you haven't been paying attention, last week we had 6.6 million people go on unemployment. Yes? Okay, so there's a lot of things happening in the economy. There's a lot of things going on in the world. So we need to do our part to help where we can. Yes? So be aware. Your parents are definitely going through a lot of stress right now. There's a lot of things happening, both in the economy, financially. You guys have a lot going on, of course. Your exams, your sophomore year has not gone anywhere near you expected. And that's okay to be sad about that as well. There's just a lot going on in the world at the moment. And when we can do something small to make something a little bit better, we should, right? So, like, if you're available, I would swing by Plant and pick up a lunch, because that guarantees those people who are working at Plant, making those lunches, another day working. Does that make sense? And in turbulent times like that, that paycheck is pretty damn great. If you can, like McCray and I are doing takeout tonight. We're trying to support a local business. We're not going to do like a corporate. We're going to support a local business and get some food tonight, because frankly, I'm tired of cooking every single damn meal. I'm just going to say. McCray has done half. I've done half. He's done half. But support a local business. Those are the types of things that we all should be doing. Try to help out your parents with your brothers, your sisters, whenever you can, because this is a stressful time for everyone, including for you guys. Like, your lives right now are not going the way you thought. AP exams are super stressful. All of your classes are super stressful. But keep in mind, there's other things going on as well. We just need to be aware of everyone. Everyone good? So,
I have a question.
sure. What's up, JP?
What happened to like the bill that the Congress and the Senate passed about like the relief?
So the stimulus bill, the COVID-19 stimulus bill, has passed, and essentially your parents, depending on how much money they make, are going to be making between about $2,000 to $1,200, depending on how much money they make. So the more money your parents make, the less money you're going to be getting from the government, which makes sense. Now, keep in mind, with that stimulus bill, they've included a lot of information about like mortgages, how they can be delayed and stuff like that. So, for instance, your parents may not have to pay their mortgage for like the month of April, but that doesn't mean it's been forgiven. They still have to pay it in 3 months. Does that make sense? So it's accruing. So they get a cash flow assistance like right now, but they still are due for all of these payments and stuff like that. So when people are getting these stimulus checks, one of the big concerns is that for people is that they're going to go out and spend it on something stupid, The problem is that with all of your rent, your mortgages, and all of these things that they're trying to help suspend while people are like literally not able to work, they're still going to come due. And most of them are going to be due in a lump sum, which means instead of paying 1 month, say $2,000 for your mortgage, in 3 months, it could be 6 months, all lump sum. So, I mean, there's a lot of components to it and a lot of complexity to it. And some people have started getting their stimulus checks. Some people haven't. Like, for instance, one of my friends posted yesterday on social media, she got her stimulus check. I checked last night and I didn't get mine. So the Steve Mnuchin, who is in charge of our he's the Secretary of the Treasury. He says within the next 3 weeks, everyone should be getting theirs. But it's not a fix. It's not a fix. It's supposed to help, but it's not a fix.
You mentioned like the mortgages being postponed. Do you know if that would be the same thing with like apartments?
So that's a rent thing. Mortgages is when you own your house. Rent is when you don't own your house, but you pay to live there. That is not something that's clearly addressed in the stimulus package. It's not clearly addressed. And that's becoming a huge deal. There's actually a movement that's doing a rent strike. The same thing that happened in 1918, which is pretty cool that it's coming back. In New York City, there's protests all throughout the city doing rent strikes, saying that people shouldn't be forced to pay their rent this month because of the fact that people can't work. So mortgage rents have not been addressed because those are by private people. Mortgages have been addressed because those are controlled by banks. And at the end of the day, the government has way more weight over the banks than it does have over private individuals who own apartments or houses and stuff like that. Does that make sense, JP? So it does not explicitly address rent, but it does explicitly address mortgages. So there are some benefits to it. So good question. So, yes. So a lot's going on. So please make sure, be kind to your parents. They have a lot of stress going on, I could tell you. Of course, you guys have a lot of stress as well. Wherever you can help, please help. It is unprecedented times. No one living today has lived through anything like this. So lots of big things are happening. So please be aware, be kind, and help where you can. And that's my soapbox moment for the day. I hope you enjoyed it, didn't you? All right, perfect. All right, so going back to Edsby, I do want to point out something else I posted yesterday. So as we've talked about, your girl is 9 months pregnant. My due date is April 11th, which, by the way, McCrae pointed out to me, which made me really uncomfortable. This could be our last weekend of it being a 2-pack. Oh my God, I'm horrified. Anyway, with that being said, I really need to make sure that everyone knows exactly what is happening and what they should be doing. So I'm going to keep doing as much as I possibly can. In case you haven't noticed, if you go into your calendar on Edsby, I've already preloaded a ton of assignments for the weeks going ahead. Have you noticed? Hello? Today, after our meeting, I'm going to upload the rest of them because I didn't want to, weigh down your post page too much. But I've already uploaded most of your assignments. I'm going to finish the rest of it today. So what's going to happen is that while I'm still pregnant and not a mom, which, freaks me the hell out to say, I'm going to be at our Zoom meetings at 9 a.m. every single day. There will come a time where Miss Bennett will not show up for a Zoom meeting and you're going to be like, oh no. And it'll be true. I will be at the hospital. And let's be honest, it's going to be a couple days that I'll be at the hospital. And then eventually I will be back. You can obviously tell I'm a crazy person, right? So, I'll be back sooner than you expect. But there'll come a day where I don't show up for a Zoom meeting. And you're going to be like, oh my God, it's happening. And I will say, yes, it's happening. And this is terrifying. So, with that being said, last night I posted this on Edsby, this message on Edsby, which I'd like you to please go back and read. It just essentially tells you that, A, there's one day I'm not going to be there at a Zoom meeting, and this is what you're going to do. And what it is it's in every single day what videos you should be looking at. So this is starting in week 32. So as you can see, I really want to be here until week 32. I'm really trying. I sit down a lot and I really don't do much because I'm trapped in my house, so I'm thinking it's possible. But I'm very optimistic. I need to get through writing week. Can we agree? We need to get through writing week. So if you look at this, I've essentially, for the rest of the year, now I'm planning on coming back sooner than the day of your exam, but I have gone through, and so if I'm absent during week 32, okay, on the day 1, you should be watching this video. These 2 videos. So you can either type in, copy and paste, of course, no one's going to type it in. Come on now. You can copy and paste either the title, which is in this column, or you can copy and paste the link. So all of these links are actual videos. The 2 major places that I'm pulling most of the videos for are the 2 most reputable places for videos that I think are the most user-friendly. Crash Course. I am not a huge fan of Crash Course, but the content in Crash Course is actually very good. I just hate John Green. I know that's not popular sentiment, but I really hate John Green. I really do. I just don't like him. He just irritates me. But the content in his stuff is really good, and I know kids really like it, so you're going to see a lot of these videos are Crash Course videos, and I've organized it by whatever the test is that week. You're also going to see there's a Himmler. Himmler is an amazing, really funny guy, super brilliant, very conversational in his covering of content. His videos are down here. These are Himmler. You're going to see a ton of Himmler because I like him way better than John Green. I think he's way more conversational. I think he does a really nice job connecting the content. Now, throughout the course of the year, I never mentioned Crash Course and I never mentioned Himmler because I don't like having these massive videos with tons and tons of information when you haven't learned the little pieces. Now that you've seen the small pieces, now you can see the big picture. Does that make sense? So during this time, during review, it makes sense to be watching these types of videos, which is why I don't support watching these videos throughout the course of the year, because I think it's just too much. So the 2 major sources of the videos that I have suggested for you are Crash Course, because begrudgingly, they are good content. I just hate John Green. Second one is Himmler, who I love. He looks like a lumberjack too, and I appreciate that. He only wears plaid shirts. So, we can all appreciate that. And then third one is Khan Academy. I'm not a huge fan of Khan Academy. I'm not. I think their content is really good, but I don't like the visual component of it. So you will see those are the 3 major places. So essentially every single day I've posted a couple videos for you that you should be watching instead of doing a Zoom video. Now, if I'm here during week 32, Can you watch these videos? Of course. But if I'm here in week 32, I'm doing a Zoom video. Does that make sense? Yes, everyone sees how this document is supposed to be used. If I'm here, I'm doing a Zoom video and I will cover content. If I'm not here, if there's no Zoom, then this is what you're supposed to be doing. So as you can see, Freemanpedia, which is the website I showed you yesterday. Did anyone go check it out? It's really good. And it's all tied to the standards, which is fantastic. And everything has been realigned for AP Modern. So you'll see that I have it all tied out for that week too. Down here at the bottom of every single week, that this is the page of Freemanpedia that you should be looking at, clicking on the links. Because if you click on all of the heading bars, it pulls up another page that you can go to and see stuff. So I would totally check out Freemanpedia, especially as you go. And as you can see, it's the same type of thing. Week 33, which is 1750 to 1900. These are the document videos you should be watching. That'll help cover that content and help review that test for you. Now, most of the videos last between 5 to 15 minutes. So it just kind of depends on the videos. Some of them are Crash Course, some of them are Himmler, some of them are Khan Academy, but as you will go. Of course, Freemanpedia is a huge resource for every single week. Now, week 34 is your last week of actual test content and your last week of a Barron's book. So you will see, here are the videos you should be watching as we go. And then week 35 is beyond the AP. It's not beyond the AP exam. No, it is beyond your Barron's book. So you're done with your Barron's book at week 35. Week 34 is your last week. Week 35, you are out of your Barron's book. And so these are just big ideas that could be refreshed for you that you should be watching. You don't have any outside homework or anything like that. There's no Barron's book, but these are the things that you should be watching. What should you be doing during like week 35, week 36, week 37, week 38, because your exam's now in week 38, is you should open up your notes to wherever this content is and maybe add some stuff into the columns of your notebook. Is everyone clear on that?
Yeah, so I have a question.
Sure, what's up, JP?
You might have clarified this earlier, but I didn't hear it. We're only doing the Barron's book until Unit 6, or are we finishing the whole book?
You're finishing the whole book, but the book ends in week 34. The last section of your book is due week 34. And then we have essentially 3.5 weeks beyond that because they extended it. Your exam was supposed to be the 14th. It's now the following week on the 21st. So they pushed it back a week with this whole digital learning, which is why we have an extra week. Because I don't really need 3 weeks. I really like 2 weeks, but here we are. So is that okay with you, JP? Ugh, I think it froze. Did it freeze? I think it did. Meh.
Man, we chilling, bro.
You're not chilling. I'm right back. Thank you, JP. Oh my God. I'm back, JP. Don't you worry. Hello. So when we talk about having this many of you, I think freaks out this whole thing. So as we go, JP, did you feel like I answered your question okay? Did you hear the answer? I'm not sure when it cut out. So this is just to help you see what you should be doing. And it goes day by day to make sure everything is going to be planned and everything is there for you. So it's not supposed to be a surprise or a trick. Does everyone feel okay? Okay, so if I don't show up, you know what to do, yes? Okay, so that's exactly what's happening. Another thing I do want to show you on Edsby that I posted yesterday at like 2:45 this morning. Or this morning, not yesterday. Feels like yesterday, but that's fine. Another thing I did is, which is at the top of the page at the moment, is these are all of your documents. These are your every single week. So I have your videos. I've posted it now twice. You know exactly where to find it. I've also pinned it over here for you, so you have easy access to this information. So this is your weekly guide of what assignments are due every single week, what day things are due. Okay, so if I don't show up because, you know, your girl's 9 months pregnant, you're going to open up this document as the weeks go by, and it'll tell you exactly what is due, when things are due, stuff like that. So I don't know why it won't open for me right now. Edsby hates me is what is happening here. It's fine. It's fine. I don't need you, Edsby. I can do it myself. Oh, here we go. So what is going to happen is I will have, all of these have been posted for the upcoming weeks. So it just tells you exactly, this is an old one. This is actually, no, for week 31, which has to change because it says SAQs and LEQs. Guess what we're doing now? DBQs. So this is a little bit old information, but you'll see this is for the rest of your review week. It's your weekly schedule. So whether if I'm here or not to post it, you know exactly where they all are, and it tells you what vocab quizzes are due and what assignments are due, of course, as we go through. So everything has already been done for you. So everything has already been organized in order to make your lives a little bit easier. Does that make sense? Just because I don't want anyone to be surprised by what happens when Miss Bennett doesn't show up. So when Miss Bennett doesn't show up, does that mean you're doing nothing? No, you have your vocab quizzes are going to be already programmed to go, and it should be pretty smooth despite today. Your tests have already been are already loaded in. I've already typed them all out, so they're already programmed and ready to go. So you don't need me around. Now, do I want to be around? Yes. But everything is already kind of done, and as soon as I can, I'll come back and I'll introduce you to Hank. How's that? Is that all right with you? All right. So keep in mind, I'm planning on being here till week 32, maybe week 38. You know, who knows? Because your girl does a lot of sitting. So maybe I'll be here throughout this whole damn thing. With that being said, I just wanted to make sure everyone knows exactly what the expectations are the day I miss. And I keep missing Zoom meetings, that will be why. And you know exactly what to do and what the assignments are. Everyone's clear on that, correct? Okay, the information is clear. Perfect. So yeah. So not the day I thought we were going to have, but here we are. Just a friendly reminder, you do have a vocab quiz that's open and ready to go on Edsby. You should be working on your Barron's book this weekend. If you don't work on your Barron's book, you're going to drown in the sea of Barron's book, so please make sure you're working on that. Today we went over the new format for the AP exam, which is 45 minutes, 5 document DBQ. What a time to be alive. How fun. And we talked about the assignments that I posted of telling you exactly what you should be doing on days that I'm not around because, you know, your girl is probably giving birth, which is just horrifying. Anyway, yeah. So, questions, concern, comments? Everyone feels like they're in a pretty good place? Everyone feels... What's up, Nadia?
For the DBQ, are they gonna have it where you can take it like any time in the day, or is it gonna be a specific time frame?
It looks like it's going to be at 11 a.m.
What happens if it crashes? What do we do?
Girl, I don't know. They don't know either. I can tell you it's definitely going to crash, but I think they're trying to work on that. I think that's why they're doing an alternative date in June so that if you have a technical problem like it crashes, then you can just do the makeup exam. But that more information will come out today from AP Central, and I'll have more information for you on Monday if that's okay with you, Nadia, because I can't really answer that question for you, just because they haven't really given me that information yet.
Miss Bennett, for the documents, they're gonna be online, right?
Yeah, it's going to have to be. It's going to be through a secure browser.
So how do you think we're gonna like text mark them? Like get
You
it
can't.
around?
Yeah. Yeah. That was the first thing that I freaked out about is like, cool, I've been teaching my kids that they really have to annotate the text and really go through it, and that's not really an option. So, yeah. So not ideal. But, I mean, we're going to talk about strategies of how to attack it. And I can tell you that even if you're going to type out your DBQ instead of handwriting it, which is a choice you need to make, whatever works best for you, you're going to have sheets of paper out on your desk and you're going to sit there and you're going to scratch out stuff. That makes sense, correct? We're going to come up with a whole strategy of how to attack this DBQ together. Together, we'll come up with a strategy that you'll feel comfortable with going in, I promise. But, yeah, you're going to get digital documents. We've practiced this, right? Because this is normal. This is normal. Just kidding. All right. Any other questions, guys?
What's with like the self-timing thing?
It's not really a self-time. It's as soon as you log in, because they're probably going to stagger the login times. So whenever you officially click like accept in the browser and actually start the test, then it starts at 45 minutes. Does that make sense? So instead of it starting at 11 a.m. to 11:45 a.m. for everyone, it's going to start, I would assume in my head, that when you click accept to all the conditions, that they have access to your web camera, you promise you're not going to cheat, you know it's going to be submitted to a plagiarism thing, all that stuff. Once you hit that button and you actually see the questions, then your 45 minutes are going to start. Does that make sense? I don't know who asked that question.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think, like I said, I don't really know that much information. As soon as I do know more information, of course, I wouldn't be giving it to you as much as I possibly can.
Did colleges say they were going to be accepting ones? Is that what?
No one accepts ones.
Okay.
Reagan, no one accepts ones. Ones, you get a 1 if you put your name on the test.
Okay.
And as of right now, 3s, 4s, 5s. So no one would give, you put your name on top of a test and that's it. You don't deserve college credit.
If everyone does really bad, are they gonna curve it?
Yeah, of course. It's a standardized test. They have to curve it. Yeah, it's a standardized test. Guys, we're not trying to beat the smartest kids in the country. We're just trying to beat the average kid. It's a numbers game. We're just trying to beat the average kid. Do we work harder than the average kid? Hello? Yes, we do. So because we work harder than the average kid, we're going to beat them. And we're taking this seriously and we're going through and we're still doing AP World. So we're going to be fine. We are definitely going to beat the average kid without a problem, which means we're in a good spot. They're going to have to grade us easier anyway. In the end, this is probably going to benefit you significantly with the curving of the test, if we're just being honest. With that being said, we still have to perform. We still have to know our stuff. We still have to sit there and actually do it. But I think long term, there's going to be way more 3, 4s, and 5s than they've ever been. Just because, you know, there's a pandemic. So, all right. Any other questions?
Miss Bennett, do you have your book?
Yeah, what's up?
So like on page 78, do we have to write anything on the whole like questions section?
No, you are never, ever going to do the question section.
Okay.
Your life already sucks, girl. Do you want it worse?
No.
Yeah, you do not have to answer the questions. So I do want you to annotate like the little notes underneath the tables, like humans and environments. If you look on page 77, Lily, they talk about humans and environments and they have bullet points. I do want you to annotate that because it's just simplifying the information. But no, 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 no. We are not answering questions. Our lives are already hard. We do not need to make them harder. All righty. Questions? So, please keep in mind what we talked about things that are happening in the world today. Be kind to your parents. They're under a lot of stress. There's a lot of things going on. Of course, you guys have plenty of stress too, but they got lots of things going on as well. If you can, support a local business this weekend. Maybe do some takeout. Maybe go to Plant and pick up a lunch. You know, we got to help where we can. Please go outside. Be like your girl Victoria, living her best life. She's got sun shining on her face. Hell yeah. Go outside. Close the damn laptops, people. Go outside. Do your Barron's book or not. I don't care. Go outside. Maybe take a nap because I got a nap in my future. So, all right, guys. I hope you have a great weekend. You do have a vocab quiz due today. It is on Edsby. You'll have one on Monday as well. I will see you on Monday. Make sure you are working on your Barron's book. Bye, guys. It was nice seeing you.